Hello friends, this is Cold Run. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. We're here ready to continue with the role quests. So we're going to start on the ranged physical DPS, on my dancer, who is not 90 yet, but she is level, what is it, 87 or something? Yeah, 87. I think I might need to repair at some point. Eventually. Doman Delegate. Seeds of Disquiet. The Doman Delegate is seeking able-bodied adventurers on behalf of Lord Hien. Doman Delegate. Do mine eyes deceive me? Lady Kukushu. Oh, thank the Kami. Lord Hien has requested assistance in the resolution of a most urgent matter, the hunt for a fell beast believed to be a blasphemy. Though we have made great strides in ensuring the safety of our people, we fear even our finest shinobi will be no match for this enemy, for what commands the skies of Doma. But as your talent for striking down foes at a distance is beyond compare. Ah, that's how they're going to work the range thing into it. Okay. I can think of no one better to aid us in overcoming this adversary. 'Twould be my pleasure. Yeah, Kukushu will be super formal for this. Oh, Kami be praised. I shall inform Lady Yugiri that she may receive you at the Doman Enclave. Safe travels, Lady Kukushu. I like this dancer garb, by the way. I'm a fan of it. We are in the Doman Enclave. Here is Lady Yugiri. It's good to see you, Kukushu. When we received word that you of all people had answered our call, I could scarcely believe it. Yet here you are. Here I am. Ah, Lord Hien will be pleased for this reunion. If you would wait here a moment. Always happy to see Hien. And Yugiri. Hien. Well, well, that the Kami should guide our steps to your guide your steps to our door once more, and with such fortuitous timing. Nod. Pray forgive me for not affording you a hero's welcome, but time is not on our side. Not long after receiving word of men transforming into hideous beasts in Thavnair, a similar creature was born of a woman in Isari. After attacking another villager, it took to the skies and fled, though to where we know not. What's it going to look like? They've been knocking it out of the park with these blasphemy designs. An all-too cruel twist of fate, for the one slain was among the prisoners returned to us in that deplorable exchange with Asahi and the Empire, just when they had at last begun to piece their life back together. That's interesting, because they wouldn't be shunned. They were prisoners returned to us. So it's definitely not the same sort of thing as Alamigo. Hien. The blasphemy must be stopped. Alas, our foe is wont to keep to the skies, well beyond the reach of our samurai and shinobi. Thus did we seek the aid of those proficient in ranged combat, able to pluck the beast from the heavens. I mean, I can throw my little glaive things at it. I don't think it's going to work, though. Of course, martial prowess alone will not solve our problems. Others have turned into weaker but no less gruesome abominations, as was the case in Thavnair, and their numbers increase by the day. From what I understand, this phenomenon is not unlike a sickness which spreads by feeding on fear and anxiety, emotions which of late can be found in abundance. Slaying the beasts means nothing if the people's hearts cannot be put at ease. Lord Hien! I don't know who this is. Just a villager number 3. Vexed villager. You have to help! The villagers, they're turning. Yugiri. Sir, please calm yourself, and tell us what happened. Vexed villager. Another has been turned into my lord! For a blessing, no one was harmed when the beast flew into a rage, but the people are in a panic. I fear what may happen next. Hien. It would seem we have even less time than I thought. Worry not, we will see to the beast. As of yet, there is no cure for this affliction, but we will save what lives we can, I promise you. I trust you are ready to join the fray? Yeah, so I wonder if we're actually going to see the blasphemy briefly here. Probably. Vexed villager. It was last seen near the glittering basin. Come, I'll show you. Are we... Oh, you teleported us to the Glittering Basin. Nice. Yugiri. Still no sign of the beast, or any other for that matter. Hien. Without a cure, we've no choice but to cut them down before they could cause more harm. Yeah, murder seems to be the answer and for most of these cases. Vexed villager. The beast was right here, I swear it. I believe you. It probably ran away. Hien. I thank you for leading us here, but it is not safe. Please return to your village. Why do you think the village is... I guess the village is away from the beast, so... Alright, we're going to hunt it down. Hien. Should we split up? We should split up if we're to have any chance of finding it. Kukushu, would you see to the west? I will search in the north. Yugiri, I leave the east to you. If you find it, remember, these blasphemies are no longer people. They will not hesitate to strike you down, so you mustn't either. Now let us not waste any more time. Yeah, that's a reasonable way to look at it. There's really no... We've never seen a blasphemy turn back after they went full blasphemy. We've seen them almost turn, but never be fully turned and then... We've seen them turn back from the brink of it, but we've never actually seen them fully revert. Frightened youth. Oh, fell beast. Kind of one of those little multi-eyed monkey things. Oh god, that was probably the youth's, like, brother or something, wasn't it? Hien. Are you alright? We heard shouting and came as fast as we could. Yugiri. It would appear Kakushu arrived not a moment too soon. Frightened youth. Why? Why did you kill my brother? Yeah, I was on the money there. Your brother was about to eat you, my friend. Hien. Your brother? Young man, that creature was not your kin, not any more. Had she not laid it to rest, it would have killed you and countless others. But if your heart cries out for one to blame, let it be me. The beast was slain at my behest, for it was the only way. I mean, yeah, but it's not... It's really not on you. I know he's just saying that, but yeah. Frightened youth. No, you're wrong. You killed him. Murdered him. I hate you. I don't feel guilty, but I feel bad for the kid. Especially because now the kid has the seeds of despair in his heart, and now he may turn. Yugiri. Oh, Kisei. Kisei, what are you doing here? Kisei. Searching for Tombo, though clearly you found him first. The monster was his older brother, so Tombo's the kid, okay. As you may have guessed, and Tombo gave the chase the moment it ran off. I beg you forgive him for his outburst. His brother was all he had left. Their father was conscripted by the Empire and was, regrettably, not among those returned to us in the recent exchange of prisoners. Hien is not... He does not... It's not that he doesn't care, but he takes zero offense. Kisei. The hope they might one day be reunited was their only comfort when the Viceroy still ruled. I can only imagine how they felt when she walked into Asari, a shadow of her former self. Tsuyu may have had no memories of the monster she was, but her victims still see her in their dreams. Again, I love that they're not giving up on that. Like that, whatever... She wasn't redeemed. It was more like mourning who she could have been. And yeah, there's never any sense of forgetting the hurt she caused. Nevertheless, like many, the brothers prayed your mercy would see their family restored. But then they learned of her death and their father's absence. Deprived of hope and hate all at once, they had nothing. My apologies for rambling. Everyone apologizes to Hien a lot. Hien. No, it was a rather enlightening tale. I spared the woman who brought him pain and took the brother who brought him comfort. I would hate me too. Yeah, he's like the most understanding dude ever. I swear I will set things right for Tombo. For all the people of Doma. Please return home, Kisei, and be safe. Hien's design is just so great. Like I just love the color grading and how the aqua and yellow kind of fade into each other on his coat. Big fan. Hien, let us return to the Dome and Enclave. This ordeal has given me much to consider. Alright, see you back there. Yugiri. I do not envy Lord Hien the burden now thrust upon him, but he shall not have to bear it alone. Now, you are a good support. Hien, I owe you a great debt for your timely assistance, and an apology, for I've made you an executioner in young Tombo's eyes. Would that I had been the one he witnessed cut down the beast his brother had become. No, I mean, I would have done this anyway. I did not do this because you asked. But we haven't time to dwell on regrets and what should have been. No, we need to take action. And after hearing of Tombo and his brother, I believe I know what must be done. A great many of our brothers and sisters will return to us in the prisoner exchange, but even so, there are those who yet remain lost to us. Are you going to pay them a visit and try to comfort them, or are you going to try to get their families back? I mean, no, because a lot of it isn't just prisoners who weren't returned, it's just they were just killed. Meanwhile, Yotsuyu, who was directly responsible for much of our people's suffering, was never held to account for her crimes. In death, she claimed vengeance for her suffering at the hands of her brother, but it came at the expense of justice for her countless victims. The people of Doma have every right to resent me for failing them and their grief. But what of those who cannot bring themselves to do even that, who are left alone with their anger and their pain? Yugiri, it may well give way to despair, and then... Yep, and then it's monster time. Hien, they would suffer the same fate as Tombo's brother, yes. Which is why we must needs consider who else might share in his anguish, ere we find ourselves beset by more beasts. I will begin making rounds of the villages to inquire after those whom their neighbors believed are more distressed of late. Yugiri. Very good. I and the other shinobi shall continue our search for the blasphemy which set these events in motion. Hien. And you, my friend, we will have need of your talents again ere long. Rest assured we will keep you apprised of our findings. So I guess, yeah, this is going to be more like giving them a chance to vent, their frustration and grief. Instead of letting it fester and explode. That's my guess, at least. Or that's not guess, that's just my best interpretation of what he's saying. Yugiri. When the Kami answer. Lord Hien's extended absence. Right, this is a time skip. Alright, the day is weeks later. Lord Hien's extended absence from the Enclave does not sit well with Yugiri. Ah, Kokushu. We have yet to ascertain the whereabouts of the blasphemy from Isari, but for a blessing we have received no reports of others that have turned. Lord Hien, for his part, has made a concerted effort to go about the villages and converse with his subjects directly. I suspect his constant presence has served to allay the people's fears. As one might expect, he has ever been dedicated and diligent, but I fear he has been away over long. I thought to go and visit what should have been his last attention, Isari. Destination, Isari. Might I ask you to accompany me? Happily. God, look at this, the low-hanging clouds here. What a gorgeous expansion this was. Thank you. I'm sure there is no cause for concern, but nevertheless, I should be glad to find him quickly. We're arriving at Isari, and this is where we first saw Yotsuyu, isn't it? Yugiri. Thank goodness we found him, but why has he remained here so long? I wonder. What have you been up to, Hien? Kokushu, my apologies. Yugiri, my apologies if I gave you cause for concern. Assessing the state of affairs here in Isari has proven difficult. To put it simply, the people, one and all, refuse to speak with me. They simply bow their heads and turn away at my approach. Knowing the blasphemy originated here, I cannot help but wonder if that has aught to do with their silence. Perhaps you could attempt to engage with the people in my stead. Surely they have no cause to deny the two of you. I mean, at least me. I think Yugiri they might see as, like, your puppet or your loyal aide or something like that, but me, I don't think so. Yugiri, I should hope not. Nevertheless, I will don a disguise, lest I draw undue attention. Come, Gakushu, let us see what we can discover. Hien, thank you, both of you. I wonder if we're going to see Gosetsu again. I know he's, like, walking the earth, like Kane from Kung Fu, but, like, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him at some point in this quest line. Burly villager. I owe a great debt to Lord Hien. If not for him, I would still be fighting under the imperial standard. But the village suffered dearly under the occupation. What's more, our lord failed to punish the viceroy for her crimes and failed to reunite many with their loved ones. I understand why some would think poorly of him, even if I do not. Yeah, so just general resentment at him for not doing enough. And I mean, he did have that whole time where he was, like, basically just chilling in, and, like, where he was, where they, I don't know if they resent him for that, for the time he just spent, like, just not engaging in the steppe. Kami fearing villager, like before we met him. A blasphemy? You are mistaken, my friend. Our village was visited not by a monster, but by a kami. Izanami. Oh no, are you... Is this... you're gonna interpret it as a... Okay. Where Lord Hien is cold and callous, she offers us boundless compassion and love. What? Does she... Because, like, my cat expresses his love by biting me. Does your cat... Does the kami do the same thing? Concerned villager. Aye, that's right. The blasphemy was born of a young woman here in Asari. Tragic, really. Every day she prayed for the safe return of her husband, but it was not to be. If I am to be honest, I fear the loss drove her poor stepmother mad. Kisei has ever been a devout believer in the kami and their blessings, but she's somehow convinced herself that Minato has become one. The delusions of a grieving parent, obviously, but an alarming number of people have come to share her belief. Heresy is what it is. Ah, okay, yep, no, well, no, it sounds like it's pretty widespread, actually. It's not just one, it started with one person, but yeah, it's something sounds like a bunch of people have embraced. Yugiri. The situation here in Asari is complicated, to say the least. Yeah. Hien. I see. Little wonder they would refuse to confide in me. The belief held by some that this blasphemy is a kami, however, is quite concerning. Izanami presides over life and death. She gave birth to the nation of Doma, and ushers souls of the departed unto the land of the dead. So, if she... I think this is like showing love with teeth. Like, maybe they think she eats someone and that's like ushering them into the heaven. I trust you understand what it would mean to deny them a source of hope in such dark times, even one such as this. Yugiri. The villagers also claim that Kisei can speak with the dead. In fact, she will be holding a gathering to demonstrate her powers ere long. Uh-oh. Hien. The perfect opportunity to gauge the extent of their fanaticism. Not for me, of course. My presence would draw undue attention. Might I ask you both to attend in my stead? Nod, nod. Oh, casual Yugiri. I didn't even notice that until now. I like casual Yugiri. Even though I know it's disguised, but still, casual disguise. Her followers will be gathering in the tavern. Come. I really don't think this is a great disguise. I feel like Yugiri is more famous than, than this can get away with. Kisei. Oh, spirits of Asari, I beseech you, lend me your voice and let your presence be known. Cross the veil and be among us once more. Was that spirit vision going into her and possessing her? That's uncomfortable. Akitsu. Akitsu. Father? Still tending the nets like I taught you? Yes, Father, every day. Thanks to you, we never want for fish. Our bellies are never empty. I am proud to be your That's the danger. That's the danger of this sort of thing. Now you think that... I am assuming this is not the actual father, but now he gets to thinking he's around someone he thought was lost and probably undoes every piece of grieving, or a lot of it. I am proud to be your son. I was always too embarrassed to tell you before, but... And I am proud to have been your father. May you be ever blessed by the sea's bounty. It hurts. Father, what's wrong? The question is this a different spirit? Is this an evil spirit, or is this Kisei just making a power play, or something else? Kisei, he's in terrible pain, my child. Those who have cheated death's design yet live. It has disrupted the natural order, and the spirits suffer for it. Those who've cheated death's design. Let's see what the spirits ask for, quote unquote. Akitsu. What must we do to ease their pain? Kisei. Fear not. Izanami shall put all to rights. Oh God. She will claim the souls not long for this world and deliver them unto the hereafter. When her work is finished, your father's spirit and all the others will find peace. I think everyone's buying this, which is not a great sign. Maybe this kid's skeptical? No, he's not. Tombo. Oh, that's Tombo. Can you find my father? Can you help me speak with him? Wishful woman. Kisei. Can you commune with my husband? Wishful man. What about my family? Help me, Kisei, please. All of a sudden she has a boatload of power. Again, whether it's intentional or not, this might be her as a charlatan gaining power, or it might be mischievous spirits. But the smile she had made me think it might be more malicious. I don't know. It might just be... I think my default assumption in this game tends to be that malice is often not the answer for why some people do what they do. Why most people do what they do. Hien. So, is Kisei's ability all that she claims? Yeah, it's hard to say, but it certainly looked legit. It looked like there were legit elements to it. But, yeah, so it's clearly not true that this is, like, that she's, that this is a... It's clearly not true that this is actually a kami. It's just I don't know whether she's delusional or lying. Hien. A young man spoke with his dearly departed father through her. I find that rather hard to believe. Yugiri. Even so, those in attendance appeared quite convinced, my lord. Hien. And I suspect a great many of the villagers I've spoken with recently are as well. Everywhere I went, the people were in so much pain, and there was nothing I could do or say to give them solace. Yet for all their anguish, there has not been a single report of villagers turning since the incident with Tombo's brother. So you think this is giving them hope? Yeah. Which can only mean word of Kisei and her ability to speak with the deceased has spread. The belief that we can commune with our loved ones in death is a comfort far beyond my power to provide. Yeah, but it's a false comfort. And so it's like a dam. It's like a poorly constructed dam that's going to shatter sooner rather than later and let in a burst that wouldn't have been there before. Though I fail to see how the people would abide the kami claiming innocent lives to restore order. Terrified villager. She comes! Izanami! Alright, let's see her. The blasphemy here? Yeah. Is it going to be like a blasphemy version of a Yol? No, this isn't the step. Never mind. I don't know what it's going to be. Terrified villager. Lord Hien, the Kami, she appeared as if from nowhere, and in the next instant this poor man was... So he's gone. Already has a higher body count than the last one. Hien, so we were too late. I spoke with him before. Oh yeah, this is the burly villager. This is the guy who was like sympathetic to Hien, who was freed from. He fought for the Empire. Like he wasn't. He fought for the Empire. I mean, not willingly, but. I spoke with him before in Asari. Wasn't he one of the villagers returned in the prisoner exchange? No, I spoke with him before in Asari. I mean, both are true, but. That's my most recent memory. Hien, you recognize him then? Curious that he and the blasphemy's first victims were former conscripts. What could the fiend be after, I wonder? I mean, they're setting something to rights in their mind. They're killing people associated. Maybe this is going to be closer to the Alamegan storyline than I thought at first. It does not become... I'm guessing this is the older woman, Kisei. It does not become, my lord, to speak ill of the Kami. Yep. Say what you will about Kisei. Her dress is fantastic, or her shirt, or whatever that is. Like the flower designs. I love that. I understand you come to investigate the rumors of a monster born in our village. A blasphemy you called it, but you're sorely mistaken. My stepdaughter Minato was chosen to serve as a vessel for Izanami. I witnessed her ascension with my own eyes. So this makes me certain that it's delusion, that it's not like a malicious ploy for power. The fact that, I mean, she's so close to her. Presumably. Kisei. Minato, please. Minato. I can't. I won't. There's no logic in it. No justice. The Witch of Doma spared, given a second chance, and my husband condemned to die as a conscript. I'll never know what became of him. Lord Hien can't even give me that. And when I look at the families he made whole at their happiness, I feel the hole in my heart, the gaping wound that will never heal, begin to bleed. And here it comes. And she interpreted this as ascension. Yeah, so Kisei is sincere. Minato, only at my beloved's side will I find peace. Kisei, you mustn't lose faith, Minato. All will be well. Trust in the Kami and Izanami. Is she going to? I want to believe, but... And then she turns into this thing. Yeah, this is the design that we've seen, like, flying all throughout the world. I'm surprised. This is more of a standard monster design than I would have expected. The blasphemies have tended to be unique before this, haven't they? Kisei. Izanami has come to bring peace to the souls of the departed, to restore balance between their world and ours. Surely you would not dare defy the will of the Kami. Hien, the balance you speak of has claimed the lives of 2 innocents, but recently returned to us. I will not, accept that the kami would condone such cruelty. I mean, they've accepted a lot of cruelty already, so I don't think that's going to sway them. Kisei, no crueler than the... Yeah, here we go. No crueler than the sight of Yotsuyu free and forgiven while my husband and son fought Garlemald's wars. Now dead and forgotten in a foreign land. With all due respect, Lord Hien, is it not your duty to protect Doma and her people? How are we to place our faith in the man who places the enemy's safety and well-being above that of his own subjects? I think he never did that. But again, I get where you're coming from, but he never did that. When he treated her well, she was not the enemy at that time. Kisei, only the kami are deserving of our adoration, as they have always been. I wonder how guilty he feels about this, because he friggin' freed Doma. He freed them. He kicked the Imperials out. He did his best, and he did well. He succeeded, but it doesn't alleviate all the pain that's there. I'm surprised that he's the source of blame, but I guess I'm not that surprised. Yugiri. Are you all right? For a moment you seemed unwell. Yeah, the echo does that. Hien. The villagers are no doubt loath to ask it of me, but preparations must be made for burials and funeral rites. I can offer that much at least. You seemed distracted during our conversation with Kisei. Is something the matter? The echo, you say? And the blasphemy was indeed born of her stepdaughter. To bear witness to such horror, how her mind must have struggled to comprehend what she saw. And as a woman of faith, perhaps her only surviving family becoming one with the divine was the only reality with which she could come to terms. I believe I know now what must be... But still, how did she get, the father's memory there? Because presumably, the father, she didn't just, I'm going to assume for the moment at least, I could be wrong, but I'm going to assume that she didn't know that the father taught the kid to tend the fishing nets or whatever, that was not just her playing a parlor trick. Hien, I believe I know what must be done, but I pray her fervor does not drive her to oppose us. Come, let us return to the Enclave. Narrator voice. Her fervor would indeed drive her to oppose them. Yugiri. What do you suppose Lord Hien intends to do? Let's find out. Hien. From what you told me of your vision, the nature of Minato's despair as well as the focus of her ire is clear. It is plain she was a good-natured and kind-hearted woman, grieving for the loss of her husband. This loss alone may not have been enough to turn her, but my failure to hold Yotsuyu to account, together with the sight, once you had Tsuyu, there was nothing to hold to account. She wasn't the same person. Together with the sight of the other families reunited, compounded the turmoil in her broken heart. A path to despair paved by my good intentions. A truth that will weigh heavy on my conscience unto my dying day. You shouldn't regret what you did with Yotsuyu. You really shouldn't. Minato was prepared to die in sadness rather than live in hatred. If she could see the beast she has become, she would implore us to stop her. Which is why we must find the others who were returned to us in the prisoner exchange before they come to harm. Once their safety is assured, we may hunt down the blasphemy and bring a close to this tragedy. This is tough. Alright, we got time for one more. Let's do the next one. Home no longer. There's work to be done, yet Yugiri appears reluctant to take action. Kakushu. If you are come to ask after the blasphemy, I have naught to share. As of yet, our shinobi have seen no sign of the beast. The returnees, however, are all accounted for, and Lord Hien has seen them safely to the Kienkan. As such, he is presently assisting with the hunt. For a blessing, there have been no reports of other villages turning, and yet, before the situation takes a turn for the worse, there is a matter I feel warrants further investigation. Kisei. We must assassinate her. Though a villager of Asari, I suspect she may in fact hail from my home, Sui no Sato. Knowing they would be loath to answer my inquiries, I entreated the Kojin to contact Sui no Sato in my stead. They hear tell of it. Princess Kurenai has made great strides in establishing stronger ties with the outside world. At mention of Kisei, however, their cordial warmth turned strangely cold. Really? If we are to learn more, I fear we have little choice but to go and speak with the people of Sui no Sato ourselves. A simple visit for you, I imagine, but my banishment complicates matters. I forgot she was banished. I remember her parents were from there, but I forgot she was banished. That said, it has been many years since I left home. Were I to disguise myself, I might well go unnoticed in your company if you are willing to take the risk. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Let us make for Onokoro then. Ready to set sail, Yugiri, or... I mean, I could just teleport there. Are you going to swim? Meanwhile, in Onokoro. All of her disguises look fantastic. Yugiri, the garments I wore when we first met. Sufficient, I think, to conceal my identity. Hopefully. Again, your face is right out there in the open, but I guess it's been a while since you were home. How many years has it been since I last saw home? Kakushu does not know. I am a shinobi of Doma, but even as a child I sought to ensure the safety and survival of Sui no Sato. I was quite bold in those days, if not a touch reckless, and together with the other children I often ventured beyond the borders of home. We yearned for adventure, and so one day we sought to behold the wonders of Doma. Imagine our horror to discover a city of ruin and ash, Imperial soldiers marching through the streets. We fled at the sight, but in my haste I lost my way in the bamboo groves. I don't know that I knew this. No, of course I didn't know this. This is new. It was there when I first met a boy named Shun, a sweaty mess as he swung his wooden sword with reckless abandon, training to fulfill his duty as a samurai, he said. Having seen the destruction of which the Empire was capable, I too felt the need to protect my home. I joined him in his exercises, and every day my resolve to protect those I love grew. Who is Shun? I wonder what happened to Shun. I'm sure we're going to find out, and I'm sure it's going to suck. Sadly, my elders refused to listen. They were content to remain hidden beneath the waves, and hopefully the Empire's notice. With a heavy heart, I left in search of the strength I believed we sorely needed, and I found it as a shinobi. But the people feared war, and conflict would follow on my heels should I return. I do not begrudge them their decision, nor do I regret mine own. You are a wise woman, Yugiri. Like, that's a really balanced view to take on something that's a really sensitive topic for you. Part of me is overjoyed at the thought of seeing home again. Openly defying the wishes of the Ruby Princess, however, would bode ill for my family. They have suffered enough for my transgressions. That is why, for their sake, I would remain naught but a faceless shinobi at your employ. I'm not convinced you'll go undiscovered. Thank you. With that in mind, let us make for Sui no Sato. Oh shit, she teleported us right there. I like that. I wasn't expecting it, but I like it. Oh, and she is wearing a hood this time. And a mask. Yep. Okay, so we're good. We're good. All these years, yet naught appears to have changed since the day I left. But now is not the time to reminisce. We have work to do. Kisei's departure from Sui no Sato was likely decades ago. Perhaps the village elders will know why she chose to leave. The only thing giving her away is that big green name above her head that says Yugiri, but Hopefully the other people will not notice it. Amiable elder. Kisei. The name sounds familiar, and yet... Apologies, friend. My memory is not what it once was. Yugiri. Let us seek out another. Yeah, I don't think he was lying there. But, I mean, he could well have been lying. I don't know. Cheerful elder. My, it has been quite some time since I last heard that name. She was a priestess of the village, banished after the drawing the ire of the former Ruby Princess. What has become of her after all these years, I wonder? Yugiri. Please, is there anything else you can tell us? Unagi was quite close with her, if memory serves. Perhaps you should seek her out. Okay, we'll seek out Unagi. Oh, shit, that's her mom. Oh, damn it. Yugiri. Mother, I had hoped to avoid my parents, but if there is no other way... Kukushu, might I ask you to take the lead? You probably shouldn't come for this. I feel like they're going to recognize your voice or your gait or something. If you're looking to stay undercover, even from them, I really don't think you should come. Ihanami. No, but you know, they had good wishes for her. If I remember. They had very good wishes for her when I last talked. Let me know if I'm mistaken, because I just remember it very, very vaguely. I say, are you not the adventurer who aided Yugiri in Doma's liberation? I am. Unagi. 'Tis good to see you again. To what do we owe the honor of your visit? Kisei you ask about. Yes, we were close, but that was a long, long time ago. Still, if I can be of assistance to the woman to whom we owe so much, I will share all I know. Kisei was born to a family of priests. Even at an early age, she was possessed of extraordinary abilities. Abilities, you say? Much was expected of her, but everything changed the day she said she could speak with the dead. No one believed her at first, but... So this is an ongoing thing. This is not a new thing for her. Okay. At first, she continued to insist she could and strove to prove it by demonstrating knowledge well beyond her years. Knowledge of events to which she could not have been privy. Word of her talent eventually reached the Ruby Princess, and she was summoned to Kisei of the Violet Tides for a private audience. No one knows what the Kisei said to her in the palace. Only that the princess was incandescent with rage and ordered her exile forthwith. So, it sounds like her powers are legit. Because if she were actually climbing for social power, she had that chance then. But she probably said something honest. She probably said like, "Oh, your old boyfriend who died says that you don't brush your teeth," or she said something like that, and I don't know, and it backfired. Or that didn't backfire. That implies that her intention was otherwise, but it turned against her. Some believe Kisei revealed a terrible secret of the royal house, or perhaps spoke a blatant falsehood that proved her a liar. I doubt that latter is the case. Indeed, the knowledge she claimed to divine from the dead was not always truthful. Really? That's okay. That complicates matters. But who is to say the dead would know the truth, or not seek to deceive? Thus could we never be certain if it was simply a fantasy or a power divine. This is very interesting. The one thing that's certain is no small number of people found comfort in her words. Would that I could tell you more, but sadly I have not seen or spoken with Kisei since her banishment. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, maybe they recognize her tail, too. Unagi, forgive me, but have we met your companion before? She looks familiar. I imagine she does, considering she's... God, no. What kind of asshole would do that when she asks you to keep her anonymity for her sake and for the parents' sake, and you're going to out her? No, never that one. It's a terrible option. I believe this is the first time her humble shinobi has visited Sui no Sato. Ah, is that so? For the briefest of moments, you reminded me of someone quite dear to my heart. Being a shinobi, I presume you have heard tales of Yugiri Mistwalker. Should you chance to meet her, may I ask you to deliver her a message? Tell her that her mother and father love her, that we could not be more proud of her. Are you gonna... No, you can't do it. It's for theirs, so you're protecting them. Yugiri, I will. I have no doubt she feels the same, and not a day goes by without you in her thoughts. She kept her cover. Believe we have heard enough. Shall we return to Onokoro? Yeah. Yep. Ah, that must have been tough for Yugiri, but also a lovely kind of tough. Bittersweet. Very bitter and very, very sweet. Yugiri, my apologies for placing you in so peculiar a situation. Though I must confess it did my heart good to see mother and father well. All the more reason I must do all I can to keep the peace. As a shinobi of Doma... No, as a member of the Eastern Alliance. That's right, she's fighting for Sui no Sato directly now. Well, indirectly, I guess, still. Mayhap there will come a day when Sui no Sato opens to the world. A day when Yugiri Mistwalker can be reunited with her mother and father. Or that Lord Hien could be afforded the same opportunity. But Lord Kaien and Lady Mina have long since passed. Two of too many lives lost in the imperial occupation. Yeah, that was Hien's father, and yeah. I think that was Hien's father, right? I cannot imagine he would ever succumb to despair, but make no mistake, Lord Hien knows the pain of his people all too well. I can see it in his eyes, and if I may be honest, it troubles me at times. But perhaps I have said too much. Why does it trouble you? Just worry for him, or concern that... I don't know. I think it's just concern for him. Come, we mustn't keep him waiting. Yugiri. For a blessing, Onokoro appears to be untouched by the recent chaos. For now, at least. Hien? Welcome back. I trust your journey has proved an enlightening one. Yes, very enlightening. So she does in fact hail from Sui no Sato, and you say she has possessed these divine gifts since childhood. Genuine or not, the people believe her and more flock to her side with every passing day. But the returnees are safe in the Kinkan, and its defenses bolstered. As for the blasphemy, I have spoken with our Confederate allies, among others. Together we will establish a network of contacts across the length and breadth of Doma to take up the search in earnest. Mark my words, we will find it. And I have a feeling it's going to be like guarded by Kisei. But that's a problem for another day. Specifically the next time. Thanks for watching. I will see you all later. Bye-bye.